This interview is being presented by Intimidation Clothing. Impose your will. Uncivilize. Don't talk about it. Be about it. Be a beast among men. Adrenaline Training Center. Up your game. Change the way you train. TheDailyPunch.net. Have you gotten your Daily Punch? Area 51 Fight Gear and MMA Mind Power. Late Night MMA Radio is live Monday and Thursdays, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. Call into the show to win MMA merchandise. www.latenightmma.com. Join the revolution. MMA pioneer, Tara Larosa. How's it going, Tara?
Hey, what's going on? That's a cool introduction. Thanks.
Well, thank you for coming on the program. We appreciate it. Your last fight was almost a year ago, so
Yeah.
It looks like you'll be fighting at the end of the month.
Mhm.
At this point, there's no confirmed opponent, correct?
Yeah, correct. We've had a few, but it keeps happening. I don't know. I'm starting to think that I'm bad luck. I don't know.
Is it ridiculous at this point?
Hmm?
Is it just ridiculous at this point that no one wants to face you? Yeah.
No, it's not that nobody wants to face me. There's plenty of people that would fight me in all kinds of weight divisions, actually. It's just they're either tied up in a contract with another promotion, or they've got a fight coming up already, or they're in one division and don't want to jump divisions, which that I understand, and that I encourage. I encourage people not to jump around their divisions. If you fight at 115, stay at 115. If you fight at 35, stay at 35. That's how I've led my career. I've tried to stay at the weight that I was supposed to be at. But no, there's plenty of people that'll fight me. It's just frustrating because and then also there's like international women who. It's tough to bring them over on, short notice or whatever,
right?
To get visas or, special tickets or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's just tough.
Okay, so there were some fights in Strikeforce on the weekend, and I just wanted to touch base on this. You fought Alexis Davis before. What did you think of her performance?
She's a tough one, ain't she? She's awesome.
Yeah, she is.
I like Alexis. She's inspirational. She's really cool. She's really good too.
Yeah.
She can hold her own standing. She's got a great ground game. She's pretty well rounded. She just came up short, when time ran out. So
now, do you think that's the sort of
thing?
With 2
more rounds, who knows what would have happened? So.
Right. Do you think it's the sort of thing she might have wanted to consider taking it to the ground earlier?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think that would have been best, But sometimes with Kaufman's a tough cookie, You got to really try and figure her out. She's going to come at you with a stand-up. She's got great hands. She's really tough to take down. So you got to decide, how do you want to take down Kaufman? You want to put her on the cage? Do you want to try to do you want to throw her? Do you want to shoot on her? What's the best way to do it? She's just got really terrific defense. So that's a stumbling point for a lot of people. I've actually gotten to train with her once before, and she really is a pain in the ass to take down.
Nice. Yeah. Okay, so we might as well touch on the main event, too. Ronda Rousey, Misha Tate. All night I've had UFC fighters and Strikeforce guys on the show, and they just can't believe that Misha didn't get her arm broken.
I can. Women, we seem to bend differently.
Right.
It seems, I don't know, I bend differently.
Right.
People have arm-barred the heck out of me throughout the years, and they're like, why isn't it breaking? Why aren't you tapping? I'm like, well, I can do this, and I can rotate it this way, and if I get my shoulder up in there far enough, I can bend that around and then flip my elbow, and there's a bunch of different things that you can do, that we've all gotten used to doing. So I don't know. I didn't think it was broken. I'm sure she might have torn up some ligaments in there, popped some stuff, whatever is floating around in there. But I wasn't surprised that it wasn't broken. It looked bad because it in a funky direction. But I don't know.
So what do you think about this 135-pound division? Do you think Ronda Rousey's going to have this title for a while?
I don't know. Depends on Kaufman's game plan.
Right.
You know, Kaufman's tough to take down, but she's tough to take down when you shoot on her or when you try and take her legs out from under her on a cage.
Okay.
When you try and throw her, if you try to go judo style, might be a little bit better. I'm sure that she's going to be training for that starting probably today. Probably she was started training for this fight an hour after the last fight because that's
right.
Kaufman.
Yeah.
That's how she is. I love her. She's awesome. She's dedicated. She's motivated. Too cool. But hey, if Rousey can do what Rousey does, then, you know, she's got a pretty good chance of beating her. But if Kaufman can keep it on her feet and stay away from her, you know, and keep her distance and pick her apart, then I think she's got it. But you just got to keep Rousey from getting a hold of you. That's the thing.
Okay, and you're a true legend in women's MMA. What advice would you give a girl wanting to start out?
I don't know. Look for a gym that has everything in one area. They've got grappling and kickboxing, and they put it together with like an MMA team or an MMA class. Also, look for a coach that's knowledgeable on the local fights in the area, who's like maybe tied into some of the amateur promotions or some of the local pro promotions, if that's what you'd like to do, if you'd like to
right.
fight.
Yeah.
You need somebody that can guide you. You don't want to go just, hey, I want to fight, you know, put me up against anybody. That's never a good idea.
Right.
You know, and make sure that it's a chick-friendly gym. I mean, there's some gyms that, you know,
yeah,
the guys don't particularly want to train with women. Doesn't necessarily mean there has to be a women's class, and that doesn't mean you have to have another woman to train with. I've never really had another female training partner, so, you know, I've done well. You don't need to train with other women. It's nice if you have smaller guys to train with. I mean, if you're like a 115, 125-pound, even 135-pound chick, and all they've got is 170-pounders and above,
right?
And it's probably not going to work out that well. You're always going to be on defense. You're never going to learn offense, and you're probably just going to get, you know, shoved around a whole lot. You pick up a more defensive style. You don't get as well-rounded. So it's always nice to always look for a place that, you know, will have a nice range of people, you know, from small to large. And, you know, just don't be in such a rush to jump in there. Do some, I guess, kickboxing smokers, or if that's what your gym is more, you know, geared for, you know, do some of those. Go and do some grappling tournaments. That's a good way to prepare yourself for competition. You know, it's a good way to get out there and sort of, you know, say, oh, God, all right, here's the nerves. This is what this feels like.
Yeah.
And try to work your way through it before you get into MMA, before it hits you all at once. And you're walking out to the cage, and there's a big crowd and the lights, and people are screaming, and you're like, oh, my God. Yeah. You kind of want to get through that, you know, that whole competing in front of people and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, if you weren't a athlete prior to, you know, getting into the sport. So that's kind of my advice. Oh, and don't date your teammates. As tempting as that might be and as hot as they may look, if you really value the gym that you train at and you value your training partners and your coach, try your best not to, you know, get romantically involved. It creates a dynamic that, generally speaking, does not work out, and it can create a lot of animosity within the team and a lot of division. And there can be all kinds of things from favoritism to he said, she said, and what happens if you do, it doesn't work out and you do break up and it is messy. Guess who's going to be leaving the gym? Probably you.
Right.
So it's just best not to. I've seen it happen, and it's very unfortunate to watch.
That's some good advice. Let's get you to, would you like to thank any of your sponsors or promote your Twitter or Facebook?
Well, shoot. Sounds like a good idea to me. Follow me on Twitter. I'm on there the most. I come up with all kinds of wild shit to say. So Twitter is a big one for me. Just Tara Larosa, just my name. Follow me on Facebook. I think it's Tara Larosa MMA or Tara Larosa. I'm not sure. I have two. One's like for my family and like friends back home, and then there's one that's for like everybody.
Okay. I'd like to thank my throwdown gear that I'm working with will be great. They're awesome, great guy. So check them out. And that's kind of what's up right now. Awesome stuff, Tara. Well, thank you very much. Hopefully we get to see you on this RFA card. It sounds like we will. We don't know an opponent yet, but sounds like you'll finally get back in there.
Yeah, finally, after about a year, So
yeah, for sure.
I'm excited. I'm stoked.
Yeah, I'm excited
back
too.
in the gym. I'm working hard. So
okay. Let's talk to you soon.
Great. Thanks a lot.
Okay, bye.